my time. I live every day like I'll die by the nighttime. It took me so long getting back to my right mind. I don't wanna be on the ground when the time flies. Had so many friends go, I wonder when it's my time. I live every day like I'll die by the nighttime. It took me so long getting back to my right mind. 5 days straight, no rest, oh well. I don't need no scale.
Okay, Coach, thank you. We are about 4,300 miles away from you there in Orlando as we come to you from the European home of the NFL, London, England. Coming up, another edition of the NFL International Series, and it should be a good one between the Miami Dolphins and the London Black Knights. This is taken about 7 yards deep, and no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here come the Dolphins now as they get set to take over on offense. They'll have Matt Ryan calling the shots, the former MVP and third overall pick.
That was a solid performance last week, wasn't it? 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, ran the team well, won the ball game. Bottom line, may not have been earth-shattering, but it didn't need to be.
On first down, Ryan. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down. And when you talk about this offense, you, of course, have to talk about Alshon Jeffrey.
Long, agile, he makes any quarterback that much better.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. First carry for Royce Freeman. Freeman a first down and more. And he cuts it out to the sideline. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Royce Freeman, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Well, if they didn't get the wake-up call before the game, they got it right now. 2 plays already in the end zone.
I think of it in boxing terms because whether it's a big shot with your first one or a probing one, a little bit of a jab, the second one was the payoff. That was the big one that landed. 1-2, end zone.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line.
Let's go! Here's guys, take over first and 10 at their own 28-yard line. 59, Mike 59. Get ready, get ready, get ready.
A first carry now for Nick Chubb. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know, you know better than I, he has the ability to take over a game. So what do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
On 2nd and 11 now, Brissett. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Last play they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a gain in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that opens things up for you on the outside as well.
But that's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it.
A run for nowhere for him to go again. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. That's in. Two runs for a net gain of nothing. Now here's 3rd and 10. Out of the gun, Brissett. Complete to Jones. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 11 yards for number 11.
Plenty of things to talk about here, partner, but to me, their defense gave up a touchdown on the first drive. How about how they're responding, coming back? That's a big third down pickup to keep their driving.
And he's taken to the ground, but he was pulled down by the face mask. Here come the flags, and I believe this is going to be a first down. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard, inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. Charles, a little bit of feast or famine on this drive. They moved the ball okay, but they've been sacked twice now.
And they've got to figure out how to plug that leak a little bit, right? Keep them away from the quarterback because when he's not being hit, as you mentioned, they're moving the ball well.
This one caught by Isabella. They'll wind up with 17 on that one, but they're still a bit short here for 4th. Fourth down, Brissett. And my goodness, this is incomplete. The 4th down pass play doesn't work out. And the Dolphins defense is able to hold. So their first drive of the game already trailing, having given up points. A little surprised that they went for it, right?
Maybe the big guy, the head coach, senses this is going to be a shootout type of a game. That they've got to match them point for point as opposed to, hey, we'll get them later. Maybe he just has that sense, and that's why he decided to go for it there.
Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. Play action. Ryan airing this one out for Evans. And that one falls incomplete. A 50-50 ball. A little dangerous. Could have been picked. Now it's 3rd down.
But one thing's for sure. When you've got a big receiver and you trust him downfield, you're going to give him opportunities to go up and get that 50-50 ball.
And he is a darn good big receiver. Unfortunately, that time didn't work out. Nice job defensively. Ryan. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Off the edge, the sack by Reggie Ragland. Well, they only had a yard to go. They try to pass the football. Defense blitz. Defense got there.
Yeah, I think on this one, this is probably good scouting, understanding a few tendencies, and figuring out that, hey, they may take a shot, and they dialed up the pressure and got to him.
Nearly a huge return, as it is. Still a very good one. 24 yards. And possession will switch hands. 1st and 10. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. This complete to Jones. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here.
Defense.
And the movement there coming from the middle of the line.
And you understand he wants to get off the ball quickly. but the ball's right in front of him. He has to watch it move first.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10.
Hey, we got 3 down, 3 down. Shit! Kill!
They go play action with Brissett. And this is caught at the 8. Touchdown! In for the score as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Josh Lambo now for the point after.
Remember the one-dimensional tight ends who just put their hand in the ground and block people? Well, if you're that guy now, you're probably a fullback in an I-formation offense. These tight ends nowadays can do everything. Block, run, and catch. Beautiful connection for a touchdown.
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes the Dolphin offense now as they get set to take over here. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. 7-7, our score after 1. It's Dolphins football here as we begin the second quarter, as they've got it 2nd and 7. On 2nd and 7, Ryan, and his throw's going to, when he released that throw, he knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Out of the gun, it's Ryan. And he can't escape the pressure. Ryan goes down.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop it.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
So here's the home side to take over on offense. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown, and now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards. Brissett to throw on first. And a quick throw here, that's complete. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
How about the timing on that one? Boy, they were in sync, weren't they? 3-step drop, balls out of his hands, right to the tight end. Nice completion, just like they do it in practice.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. They give the Chubb out of the gun. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, and you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
On 3rd and 1, here's Brissett. Yeah, that one's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Nice play there to force the incompletion, and to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. And it's complete. They're going to get the first. And they're able to pick up the first and keep possession. Wow, first and goal, and defensively, all they can do is shake their heads. Not only did they allow the conversion, but a big play as well. Offense back out now for first and goal after the successful fake. They'll run with Chubb, and he is into the end zone for a touchdown. Nick Chubb with touchdown number 7 on the year. And his guys have taken the lead. Now, let's not forget that was all set up by the 4th down conversion earlier in the drive.
Would have been a complete letdown if the drive doesn't culminate this way, wouldn't it? If you're going to go for it on 4th down, your intention is to make sure you get a touchdown out of the drive, and that's exactly what they did. Converted, and then converted a second time for 6 points.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. That 7-0 lead of theirs short-lived as they've now given up 2 straight touchdowns to fall behind by 7.
Yeah, but no cause for discouragement here. Yeah, they've fallen behind, but haven't they proven that they can go down and score? So what was the formula that got them down there the first time? Get back to something close to that, and maybe they get this game tied up.
They go play action here on first down. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Fletcher Cox in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
After the sack on first down, Ryan, Ebron's got it. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain.
Let's go, defense.
A good rally to the football holds him to 2, and that brings up a 4th down.
Well, it wasn't a big strike, but that completion put them in really great range. What do we have now, 4th and inches?
Yeah, it's not more than a half a foot.
You know what I would do here?
You would always go for it.
I'm one of those guys.
A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
21 yards. Well done on the return. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Now, their last 2 drives, both ending in touchdowns. It's got them this 14-7 lead.
And it looks to me, and I think you're probably seeing the exact same thing, they're in an ideal spot now to create some separation. The way that they're functioning on offense now, they can create a pretty good gap. Allows their defense to play with a little more verve and confidence.
That big article in the paper this morning about them stringing possessions together for consecutive touchdowns. Well, right here, they're trying to make it out. They have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. A toss play to Chubb. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Throwing, Brissett. And the throw there going to be incomplete. That is the first time that they've targeted him that he has not come down with a catch.
He's caught everything that's been thrown his way, a dominant break down any defense, because when he's doing that kind of work, it really hurts you on the back end.
And even though it's an incompletion there, I think they're going back to that well. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. And this will be taken at the 13. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And it'll be Dolphin football. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And now with still more than a minute to go in what's been a tight game, you figure we'll try to see them move the ball downfield.
And remember, they get the kickoff to start the second half, so this is a golden opportunity for them to go down there and put up a couple of sixes back-to-back. What a momentum swing that would be.
Yeah, you might be able to get a 2-for-1 without ever even giving up the football. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. To throw is Ryan. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Oliver. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. A gain of 13. It's a first down.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? To throw on 2nd and 10. Ryan to the sideline, and it's caught, but boy, he's out of bounds. And they tried to get him into space coming out of the backfield, but it'll be 3rd down.
That's a nice catch, but unable to stay in bounds. And remember, it wasn't a wide receiver who works on that all the time.
I was going to say, he likes to get the ball handed to him. Now, don't get me wrong, he's part of the passing game as well, but maybe a little out of his comfort zone there.
Yeah, he might want to have a few words to say to us about that later, but I am still going with you on that one. Wide receivers work up.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Reggie Ragland. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball, and I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
He's got his man on the crossing route. 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. That first down completion only netted them 3. 2nd and 7. And this time they'll just keep this on the ground. And he'll just keep 2 hands on the football as he'll be taken down after a short pickup. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. 3rd and short yardage, Brissett. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And this is incomplete with a clock showing just 3 seconds left. Here's Johnny Hacker now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And a nice special teams job here. This is going to be down inside the 10 at the 7-yard line. We now proceed to the start of the second half. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As they say here in London, all to play for as we are back underway in the second half. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. So here is the home side to take over on offense. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
See if they do just that.
It's not a surprise when you read scouting reports and watch tape because you know he's a heck of a player. But he is so difficult to get down in the open field. They just want to get him the ball and let him do his thing.
On 1st and 10, Brissett. He'll get this to Chubb out of the backfield. 6 yards on the pickup, and it's a second down.
And a nice gain and a broken tackle along the way, and really we shouldn't be surprised, should we? That's what runners do, especially the best ones. They break tackles and gain extra yardage.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Brissett. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down.
Enough takes a start to have a good drive, quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
No, now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Brissett now. Able to find Isabella. 18 yards and a 1st down. And he's top 5 in the league in terms of receiving yardage because of plays like that. What have you seen from him on film that you like so much?
Well, I'll strip away everything else and get to what we call the moment of truth. When the ball's arriving and there's a defender there, he just comes down with the ball. He competes and takes it away. Great hands, great ability to finish the catch.
Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Check. Check 43.
On 1st down, they'll run with Chubb. They stopped after only a yard, taking it down to the 14.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
And again, it's Chubb. And he'll get about 3 just outside the 10, stopped at the 11. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
On 3rd down, Brissett. This is caught, and he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Mike 20, Mike 20, Mike 20. Let's go, tight end. Let's go.
Hey, Mike 20, Mike 20. I don't even know why this team showed up.
There we go, Mike 20, Mike 20, Mike 20.
Coming, baby.
From the gun, here's Brissett to the goal line, but it's incomplete. Andy Isabella was the intended target, but it'll be 2nd and goal.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, he's got a couple more downs to play with.
He's checking. Crash.
On 2nd and goal, Brissett. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Andy Isabella was the intended target, but now it's 3rd and goal. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
57, Mike, 57.
This is 3rd and goal, Brissett. And it's caught. Touchdown. Andy Isabella with touchdown number 12 on the year. And his guys are going to add on to their lead. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. Right about 20 yards on the pickup. Officially, they'll say it's going to go for 19. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Here's Ryan. And he'll hit Jeffrey complete. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Now Ryan going to give it to Freeman. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. Welcome back now here in London. It's Dolphin football, but they trail here as we get set for the 4th. The Dolphins on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. From the gun, it's Ryan. And this is brought in by Pryor. And down inside the 15 he goes. 18 big yards on that one, and a Miami first. In a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
And he hits his tight end, Ebron. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Back to the running game. It's Freeman. And he takes it into the end zone for the Dolphin touchdown. Royce Freeman, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon, as his guys are back within a single score.
Well, let the natural light of today reflect that he is now getting into the end zone 2 times.
Look at you. You're a little Ralph Waldo Emerson, is that his name?
No, I was just going with the meteorologist. Said it was a day game. I'm here.
So that drives 7 plays in length. And the final act came from Royce Freeman on the touchdown run. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. So here's the home side to take over on offense. They have the lead, obviously, late in the game. I guess the good news for them is if for some reason they would make a mistake, a field goal does the opposition no good.
Everyone loves to have a little bit of a cushion.
And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. Cameron Jordan has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Now Bissett. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. The safety Marcus May in there on the coverage. First quarter, Charles, you really emphasized the importance of winning the turnover battle as a visiting team, as an underdog. They haven't forced a single turnover in this game.
And right now they're losing, so no turnovers might lead to no victory.
Here's Bissett, and he's going to be taken down, sacked back at the 2. Cameron Jordan in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
I think most quarterbacks would love to have the goal line actually extend up into the air and turn into a wall. They can put their back against it and know exactly where they are on the field so they don't end up in the end zone. Didn't do it on that play, but perilously close to the goal line.
Personal foul, roughing the kicker, defense.
Trailing here in the second half, went for the aggressive play, got a little too aggressive.
You've got to know when to pull up, or if you're going to go for it, how to take your body across a punter's body and not into him. Not a good play at all.
So a big break. The roughing the kicker called on 4th down leads to 1st and 10. They run. Chubb. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on 2nd down.
They don't want it. Keep playing on.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple.
Check, check. Watch 54. Watch 54. No chance.
On the bootleg, it's Brissett. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Nick Vigil in there to record another sack, and that is now 6 on the afternoon for this defensive unit. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. From the shotgun, it's Brissett. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a 1st down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Dolphins offense now ready to go back out onto the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Now a throw right side taken in here to start this drive. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. Well, when you're leading in the 4th quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
Here's Ryan to throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off at the 11, and he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line. That's now a 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands.
We're coming for you, son. I'm coming for you, son.
At the
97's the mic. 97's the mic. And let's get this.
They run it again with Chubb. 11 yards there, 1st down.
Come on now, let's go.
But that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out.
From the gun, it's a give to Chubb. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. So 2nd and 9, and you'd have to figure just about all 11 probably crashing the line here. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So they've got a 2nd down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. They go with Chubb on 2nd down, and he stopped immediately there. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. Now this is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. Coming right, this is Chubb on the toss. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. And now we're going to get a timeout defensively. So another stop, 1:50 left in the football game. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. On the carry, it's Chubb. And he's across midfield and into Miami territory. Now the Dolphins will use the last of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. So they come up on second down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing. A give running right is Chubb. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's third down. So here we go, Charles, third down. Any chance you're throwing?
I don't think so. I think you got to keep the clock rolling here. And
indeed, they will keep it on the ground. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. And a nice carry there of 15 yards. His longest run of the game right there, and a pretty good time for it. A huge third down conversion late.
Love the mindset. Love the way he flipped the switch late in the game, needed a big run, and helped produce it with great leverage from the offensive line. But you also know what happens, too. The defense stacks the line. So if you can break through that first barrier, there's usually plenty of room to run.
I guess the simple question, why not just take a knee there?
I don't understand either why you would take any sort of a chance. We've seen it happen in the game of football. It doesn't matter whether you've watched high school, college, or the NFL. Some people get a little greedy, try to get that extra running play in, and it can backfire on them.
Really in a hole here, 3rd and 17 following the 2 negative plays. Now Brissett. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. Now another timeout called for by the offense. That'll leave him with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. That one looks like he'll throw here. That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining. Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10.
Check safety, check safety. Order. 97's the mic, 97's the mic. Hey, I'm coming.
Here's Brissett. And he comes back with 1 complete. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. And whistles, and they take their final timeout with 7 seconds left. It's 1st and goal, and a late touchdown at this stage could officially salt this one away. They'll try to run this one in. And he's across for the late touchdown. And in the final seconds, that one should just about put a capper on this game. So a little icing on the cake there before the clock hits all zeros.
What a way to finish things off. Exactly what you want. Not much time and a touchdown to put things away.
Extra point tacked on by Lambeau. And the lead now up to 14. And the Dolphins are going to recover. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is